Back at it because we ain't never left, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Cardinals Daily. I'm Eddie Law. Hit that sub, hit that bell, send that like, and let's get right to it. Had a couple roster moves that were necessary because, unfortunately, Trey Benson didn't practice on Monday. Not good. Will Johnson did. That's good. But we need to address some roster moves real quick. Roster news out of Tempe today for the Arizona Cardinals. The team is shuffling its backfield and getting some reinforcements in the trenches. As you guys have seen just a second ago, obviously, James Conner after the season. Trey Benson, not a great showing last week, and he got hurt, didn't practice today, so I guess we'll see what happens. So Michael Carter is back on the active roster. Dearness Johnson joins the practice squad. Defensive lineman Bilal Nichols is finally cleared to return from the PUP list, which is wild that it's him and not the young man Walter Nolan, but hey, fair enough. First up, Michael Carter. He's been elevated from the practice squad to the active roster, and that makes sense with James Conner out for the year and the Cardinals scrambling for production in the run game. Carter has shown flashes with both the Jets and with Arizona, but he's versatile. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's only 25, 26 years old, something like that. So this move gives the Cardinals some stability in the unit that's been shaky at best, especially with Trey Benson, in danger of not playing this weekend, which hopefully that's not a thing. Hopefully he just got a day off to heal any bumps and bruises and everything, and that doesn't have an actual injury. But in football, you never know. Now, Dearness Johnson, he's a 6-year vet, played with nearly, I think it's over 100 games across stints with the Browns and the Jags. Most recently, he spent some time with Baltimore in the preseason. Not a star, let's be honest, not a star, but he's what he is, reliable. Nearly 1,000 rushing yards in his career. 4.6 yards per carry, I believe the number is, plus 53 receptions. He's kind of the depth piece you need when your running back room is beat up. He'll wear number 37, and while he's on the practice squad for now, don't be surprised if he's elevated sooner than later, depending on injuries and other possible shuffling moves. Maybe the most intriguing part of today's news, Bilal Nichols back at practice after starting the year on the PUP list. Now, Nichols has been a solid rotational defensive lineman in his career with Chicago and Vegas, and now with us. But he's been with us for a couple seasons now. But having that 21-day window to decide when to activate him to the actual active roster is pretty important. With the runs, with our run defense looking pretty weak, right? This last couple weeks, his return could be a huge boost up front. So Carter gets promoted. Johnson is in his insurance, and Nichols is on track to rejoin the defensive line. Now, these aren't blockbuster moves. They're not going to blow anyone's head off or anything like that, but they're kind of depth signings that will tell you the Cardinals are trying to patch some holes here and stay competitive as move deeper into the season and try to get some of these injured guys back on the field. Now let's talk about some of those offensive woes because we got them. Coming off 2 gut punch walk-off losses to divisional rivals, the Arizona Cardinals are 2-2. Okay, it's not a disaster, sure, but it's not what we want to be. Definitely where Jonathan Gannon and the team don't want to be, right? Quarter of the way through the season already, and we're headed into this long weekend. He's actually called it a mini bye week or something, mini bye week or something like that because we have extra days. Obviously, we play on Thursday, and so which honestly, now that I think about it, makes that Trey Benson not practicing kind of more concerning than I thought it was. But either way, Gannon said it plainly. Cardinals need to change and adapt. Confidence in the offense is still there, but some recalibration is required on offense, on defense, and on special teams. Nowhere is that more obvious in the run game. He addressed the issues on Arizona Sports on Monday. Last season, Arizona was one of the best rushing offenses in football, 7th in the league, over 144 yards a game. This year, plummeted to 22nd, averaging just about 105, 106. So that's nearly a drop of 40 yards per contest, which is huge, right? Explosive runs, rare. I think Benson had one a couple weeks ago. Cardinals have just nine rushes of 10 yards or more, which ties us with the Texans for 24th in the NFL, which, again, kind of sad. So when it comes to finishing drives, it's even bleaker. Only 1 rushing touchdown through 4 games. Again, what are we doing? And we're tied for 28th on that end. Now without Conner out for the season, and urgency could be higher, right? Gannon said it best. They need to uptick everything in the ground game. And for him, starts up front. Gannon talked about getting everyone on the same page at the line of scrimmage. Too many missed calls, too many unblocked defenders, slipping through. And that's the difference between a 3-yard gain and a tackle for a loss. The Cardinals need more consistent combo blocks, more of those old school hat on a hat fundamentals that open lanes for backs, right? And they don't need every run to be a highlight. Sometimes 4 yards is enough to get a first down, right? Or even getting 4 yards on first down is a win, right? Like you chip away. You don't need home runs every time you swing. You don't need a highlight every single time. It keeps the offense ahead of the sticks, keeps Kyler Murray in manageable situations, and opens up play action. new offensive line, Justin Fry, our our line coach, getting his feet wet and all that, and I get it, but as he gets more comfortable with the system, with his personnel, the hope is that we start seeing some incremental improvements every week. So this week might be a perfect opportunity to test those corrections. Hosting the Tennessee Titans, who statistically have one of the leakiest run defenses in football, presents clearly a good opportunity for this run game to get back on track. Tennessee's already given up 7 rushing touchdowns, most in the league, and they're allowing over 141 yards per game on the ground. So don't get it twisted, right? Jeffrey Simmons still a game record in the middle. 2 sacks, 5 tackles for a loss, a forced fumble already this year. If Arizona's line doesn't identify him properly and keep an eye on him, he's going to blow up drafts before they even get started. But overall, this Titans team, the front 7 for them is vulnerable. So if there was a week for the Cardinals to reestablish their grand identity, this is it. Of course, it's not just the offense needs to adapt. Veteran defensive lineman Calais Campbell said it bluntly after the loss of Seattle. The Cardinals defense has to be better against the run, and he's absolutely correct. Through the first 3 weeks, Arizona was top 5 run defense, right? Then Thursday night, disappeared. Kenneth Walker ran all over us, and the Seahawks gashed us for 155 yards on 35 carries with 4 different Seattle players breaking off runs of 10 yards or more. That's not just one player slipping. It's a unit failing to finish. Campbell's point was that you can't relax after 4 good plays, right? If you let that 5th one beat you, then all those 4 plays were moot, and you're starting over, and you're getting tired. So every snap matters. Every tackle matters. That's the kind of discipline that separates good defenses from great ones. And Arizona's teetering on that line right now, if not just on the negative side of that. But end of the day, football is won in the trenches. That cliche, totally. And I'm only 39. Right? I'm not 60 telling you, hey, back in my day type of stuff. But it's true. And for the Cardinals, it means 2 things. 1, offensive line has to create some stability in the run game to take pressure off of Kyler. Without a ground threat, defenses can pin their ears back and come after him all night, and that's exactly what they've been doing. 2, the defensive front has to clean up the tackling, stay gap sound, and stop letting big plays sneak through. If they can hold opponents under control, suddenly those one-score games tilt in Arizona's favor instead of slipping away in the final minutes or seconds like it was last week. So here we are, 2-2. A mini bye behind us and a winnable matchup ahead of us. Jonathan Gannon said his team needs to change and adapt. Well, Tennessee Titans, Gannon, there you go. You got your wish. You got what you wanted, right? Can the Cardinals reclaim their run game? Can the defense reassert itself? And if the answer is yes to both, that record looks a lot different come week 6. But we'll see what happens with that. Now, my hot take's going to ruffle some feathers. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Big news in both music and sports. And I wouldn't say big news. You'd have to really, really be into it to care. But Bad Bunny's taking over the Super Bowl halftime show. He got it. Cool. That's right. The Puerto Rican, superstar, Grammy winner, and global ambassador of Latin music will headline the Apple Music halftime show at Levi Stadium on February 8th in Santa Clara, California. This isn't just another headliner, right? Bad Bunny is the face of Latin trap and reggaeton right now, where he's fresh off a historic residency in Puerto Rico, drew over, I think, like 500,000 fans. He leads all nominees heading into the Latin Grammys, and he's one of the most streamed artists in the world. I think he's like top 5, something like that. His albums are like he's got a bunch, right? And all Spanish projects. He's got quite a few English songs, honestly, and at least with English mixed in them. They're not really full all English songs, but still. His election represents more than just music. It's culture, it's identity, it's recognition that Latin music is now front and center in pop culture. Said it himself. This is my people, my culture, and our history. Cool. Think about the stage. Last year Kendrick Lamar, shattered records, 133 million viewers. Now you bring in Bad Bunny, who's not only a superstar in the U.S. but also carries massive international clout. The NFL is going for that reach. I think it's like 7 international games. I think this year, right? 7 international games, and the NFL is trying to become global, right? They're trying to get on the same page as soccer, if not beat it. Probably beat it, but still. So it's cool, right? So February 8th, Bad Bunny isn't just performing a set. He's making history for his country, for Latin music, and for the Super Bowl. Expect fireworks, expect culture, expect one of the most talked about halftime shows in years, I think, outside of last year's Kendrick Lamar halftime show. While a lot of people are excited, there's definitely a vocal crowd that's not thrilled at all. And let's get into the backlash of why some of these fans don't want to see him on the NFL's biggest stage. If you guys remember last year, the whole Kendrick Lamar thing, like, everyone's like, well, I don't understand what he's saying. I don't understand what he's saying. Dude, no one understands. Who cares? Like, maybe it's not for you. Maybe you just don't enjoy it. That's fine. It's okay. You can only get, you don't get 8 different artists at the halftime show, right? It'd probably be good if it did. Maybe mix it up a little bit, make everyone happy. But, with the NFL trying to become global, they're going to do what they want to do. So first of all, there's the obvious pushback. Bad Bunny sings primarily in Spanish. Some fans argue that the halftime show should cater more directly to the NFL's U.S. audience. It's a complaint we've heard before with international artists. People saying, I don't understand the lyrics, or I want more mainstream American rock or pop. And then, then there's the genre factor, right? Latin trap and reggaeton aren't for everyone, and they're really not. Some football fans just don't connect with that sound the way they would with a classic rock act or a country star. And again, like, classic rock and cool with me, but country, I could care less. I'm not a country fan at all. But if they pick the country artist to headline or to be the halftime show, I'm not gonna get mad about it. Like, all right, cool, it just wasn't for me. No big deal. Second, you got the traditionalists. They want the halftime show stick with acts like Springsteen, U2, and even the Rolling Stones. I get the legacy artists. I totally understand it. All right, they're your grandparents' favorite artists and all that. Bad Bunny represents, I guess, a shift that's too modern, maybe too trendy, and you know how it goes every year. No matter who's picked, there's a group that says, this isn't football, this isn't the Super Bowl I grew up with. No one cares. Move on, all right? We're in 2025, all right? Nobody wants to see Madonna's, 70-year-old ass up there singing and dancing. No one cares about hearing the Beach Boys fake their voices the entire time with, tired-ass songs. Moving ahead, all right? This is, again, understand what this is. This is marketing to the global audience. Honestly, the heart of the debate, the Super Bowl halftime show is no longer just about entertaining people in the stadium. It's about grabbing global eyeballs, right? So the NFL just wants, they want youth, diversity, and international reach, but that comes with resistance from the core audience that just wants to see some familiar, someone safe, right? So, okay, but let me just finish these thoughts, and something just came up in my head right now that I really do want to bring up because it's silly, but still. Bad Bunny selection challenges the expectations that people want. So this is exactly what's dividing people right now, which is hilarious. So, yeah, some fans aren't buying into Bad Bunny as a halftime show, and they'd rather see classic rock, country, or mainstream pop act. And like it or not, this is the choice where the choice shows where the NFL is heading, right? Global, younger, and unapologetically diverse. And that's why this halftime show will be one of the most talked about in years before it even happens. That's a backlash on Bad Bunny. Love him or hate him, he's about to take over the Super Bowl stage. And if you guys remember, all these, everybody was kind of modern. It was like a modern artist pretty much every year until Justin Timberlake and I'm embarrassed. I don't remember her name. Janet Jackson. Okay, the what do they call it? The wardrobe malfunction, which quite obviously anyone watching knew it wasn't a wardrobe malfunction. That was on purpose. But still, after that, they went as safe as they could. It was like Paul McCartney was one, and everyone was like, what is going on here? Like, they didn't start getting edgier until I think the one where they had 50 Cent, Dr. Dre, Eminem, and a couple other guys on there. Then they went full out with Kendrick. And it just seems like this core audience everyone talks about just gets more mad and more mad every time it's someone that's not an old ass artist. I get the complaint. I do. I'm 39. I got gray in my beard. Yeah, like, would I prefer to see Eminem in there? Absolutely, right? Would I prefer to see? I'll even go further back. I'll sound like one of these people. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing someone like Metallica in there, right? But it is what it is. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Okay? Plain and simple. I don't understand the constant complaining and whining. And here's the thing about social media. I'll tell you guys right now. Is social media made people care or comment on things they normally would not care about. Take that one for next time you log onto X or Twitter, whatever they're calling it these days, or Instagram and everything, and you see a comment that ticks you off a little bit. Just remember, that person wouldn't have said anything if it wasn't for social media. Or it's a bot. There's a lot of rage bots going on these days, folks. It is what it is. All right, let's get into some comments here because I told you guys I would get right back into that. Let's go with the very first one here. Okay, this is from the video where I talk about the Cardinals to trade for Shador. Primetime Junior for K1 and Drew Petzing. I'm down with that. Screw it. Let's just wipe it clean. Why not? All right. Cardinals going to Cardinal. I'm not expecting a win, says Wind One. Yeah. Maybe start of the season. Maybe after week 2, I'd give you crap for that. I get it. I understand it. They let down as much as they can. It's really, really odd. All right. Ooh, this one's upside down somehow. How did that even happen? All right, well, I'm about to read it off my screen here. Let me see. All right. Overall, the opposite is from F Mattis 08. F Mattis 08. Overall, the offense is just not there. Bad OC with inflexible play calling, true. QB decision making as if he had best, true. Drops, injuries, O-line is rarely healthy, agreed. The offensive side is lacking a lot. That is 100% correct. I am with you on that. It is lacking and needs help. And a lot of it. A lot of it. All right. I believe this is our last comment for the night. I've been talking about this a lot, says Chris Raines. If Kyler goes somewhere else, he'll be a superstar. He's probably right. Unfortunately, our offensive play calling makes it look like we don't trust Kyler or our offense as a whole to make plays. We're trying to win in fundamentals as a developing team. We need creativity in play calling. We need to give our guys an opportunity to make plays. Drew Petzing called one good quarter of football through 4 weeks. Agreed. Homeboy needs to go. Yes, absolutely. We wish him the best, but he's holding our best guys back. You're taking the words out of my mouth, dude. I'm 100% with you right now. With Connor gone, we need to be more respected throwing the ball. Benson has promised, but is still developing. People who put the blame solely on Kyler are delusional. Thank you. And they clearly don't understand how crucial good play calling and coaching is. P.S. That flu flicker was embarrassing to watch. Boy, you are speaking to the choir here. 100%. That was awful. Drew Petzing, man. Why is he still on this team? Why is he still? Come on, man. Anyway. That's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, for this episode of Cardinals Daily. I'm Eddie Law. Don't forget to hit that sub, hit that bell, hit that like, leave a comment. I'll see y'all tomorrow for more Cardinals breakdown, more talk about this Tennessee game. It's gonna be a fun one. All right, have a good Tuesday, have a good week. We will keep trucking on. Go Cardinals.